Hello everybody, it's Teresa here. So I know I haven't posted videos for I think like 3 weeks now or something, and this is because I was very busy in February, and I think I was a little bit tired and drained, and I just had no inspiration or like the energy to make videos. Yeah, and I felt like I needed to charge my own batteries before I can give out more. So yeah, but now I'm trying to come back, and I'm trying to again make consistent videos every week. Yes, but by the way, I also want to mention, if you don't know, that actually I have a Facebook group, and I made it like a month ago or so, and we have already like 200 people there. So if you want to join the Facebook group, then I will post the link down below. And this group is like very great, like so many people encouraging each other and supporting each other. You can ask your questions, and I'm also gonna be there like time after time, checking on you and answering your questions, giving your support. Yeah, so if you want to check out the group, the link is in the description. So today's video, I thought maybe I will talk about like in recovery, when you are triggered, and maybe you are triggered because you are, I don't know, trying on your old clothes that don't fit, or maybe somebody is saying some triggering comment to you. Maybe you feel like you have gained weight, maybe you have the extreme hunger and you panic about the amount of food you're eating, and then you feel triggered. And this is kind of the situation I remember I was in many times in my recovery. And because I was recovering on my own, I didn't have anybody to kind of shake me like shake me out of this, like, Elisa, like, don't relapse because you're triggered, like you just have to keep on going. But over time, as I did my like relapses, and I went like back and forth a little bit with recovery and then like relapses, then over time I really learned from them to kind of see the similar pattern, that each time when I got triggered and I went back to relapse, like after some period of time, I just couldn't, like restrict myself, and I was back to the binging or having the extreme hunger. And I kind of realized that, okay, this was a restriction, and it always leads me back to feeling miserable, feeling sick about my eating disorder, and wanting to be back to recovery. And then next time I felt triggered, I relapsed again and again and again. But over time, I really learned that when I got triggered, I started to kind of think before I took action, to relapse or start restricting. And I really started to think, okay, last time I was triggered, what did I do? I went back to restriction. And then what happened? I felt again trapped in my eating disorder, and then I wanted to start recovery again. But I felt by that point I had lost some precious time. But since I started to think before I relapsed, I started to really see the pattern, and actually I came into the conclusion that even though I feel triggered right now, like restriction cannot be the answer. Like restriction is not an option anymore, because I know it will lead me nowhere. It would just set me back in my recovery, and ultimately, like, what is the point of relapsing? Like, what is the freaking point? Because every time it's just completing or continuing the same old cycle, and it will lead absolutely nowhere. And I know, like, I can, I don't know, restrict for a week or two or like a month or something, and then I will be wanting to go back to recovery, because simply when you restrict, it will never ever end. Like the eating disorder will never end. You have to maintain this for the rest of your life then. And I knew that this is just not like possibility for me. Like I cannot restrict for the rest of my life. Like this didn't even sound logical. So I started to realize that, okay, I can be triggered, I can be scared, I can be panicked, I can be anxious about the weight gain or water retention or like food like sitting in my stomach. Like I can be triggered about somebody's comment, I can be triggered because maybe my clothes don't fit me or something. But like, what is the other option? Like, if I restrict a relapse, then what? Like, what is the ultimate solution it will give me? Like, to lose some weight, okay, and then what? Then what happens? You're gonna have to just maintain restriction for the rest of your life. And I simply like thinking about it, you know, like that, by, you know, before taking the action, I started to think, okay, where would this action actually lead me? Like, to be very realistic and logical about it. And then by using my logic and my past experience of relapses, I simply like convinced myself that like relapses are pointless. Relapses cannot lead me anywhere. They just lead me to another dead end. So relapses cannot even be options anymore. Like, they just lead me in a same old eating disorder cycle. So yeah, I understood that like relapses are pointless. No matter how triggered I am, no matter, you know, if I'm gonna have the extreme hunger or weight gain, like I can't control it. And in order to find out like what is the other side of recovery, like what if I stop relapsing and I stop restricting, and if I'm triggered, I'm still gonna keep on going. I can be triggered, I can be scared, I can be panicked, but I'm still gonna keep on going. I'm not gonna relapse. Then what if like this will actually lead me to somewhere good? Like, this is the road to recovery. And if I don't relapse because I'm triggered or something, I have the best possible chance of recovering. And I was simply so sick and tired of doing the same old relapses over again and thinking like something will change, because I was convinced that like this is like simply, you know, like the most like stupid thing for me to do, to relapse, because my past proved me that it didn't lead me anywhere. And actually, like, if you are Elisa, if you are so sick and tired of your eating disorder, then what if you take the actual road that has proven, you know, by other people's experiences, by the science, the logic of recovery, that has proven to lead people to full recovery? Like, what if it will work for me as well? You know, because you know the other road of relapses and eating disorder, it 100% don't work. But what if the recovery will work for me? And I was willing to take this road, you know, to risk it, like to take this risk in order to have a chance to get free. If you relapse, you have no chance to get free. But if you stick with recovery, you wait it out, you just keep on going, you do the challenges, you push yourself into the like keeping on the recovery and everything, like you have the best possible chance of recovering one day. And yeah, like, don't you want to find out what recovery is like? Because again, like, you don't have another option, in my view. Like, you don't have another option. The only option is to, you know, you can be triggered, you can be scared, but the only real option is to keep on going and not simply relapse. Like, what's the point of that? What's the point of that? So yeah, this is my message today. Yeah, and if you have any interesting questions for me, you can pop them below this video in the comments. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.